This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
What is happening, you guys? Welcome to a Tuesday tune-up. I'm J.M. Ryerson. You're on the Let's Go Win podcast. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is leadership. I believe that everything in this world literally rises and falls based on leadership. And I want to talk about what makes a great leader and what are some leadership qualities that we should all aim for. When you think of some of the best leaders, who are they? And what leadership qualities do you look for in them? What attributes do they have or did they have? And if you search up the word leadership, you will see hundreds of different definitions that have been used throughout time about what a good leader does and how they are supposed to act. I have always favored the quote by John C. Maxwell. He once said, "Leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less." Now, influence can be used for good or bad, depending on the intent of the leader. But I want to focus on good leadership traits and great leaders that have helped make the world a better place and the attributes that they possess. So here are three key attributes to work on to maximize your leadership. Here are three human beings that I look up to. They definitely made our world a better place. And the first attribute is communication. And who I want to focus on is Winston Churchill. He is one of the most frequently quoted leaders of the 20th century. He was a master communicator by saying a lot with very few words. One of his quotes is, "The difference between mere management and leadership is communication." He also said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal." That one I use a lot because success is never final and failure is absolutely not fatal. For anybody going through a trial or tribulation, failure is never fatal. And when it comes to success, it's not going to be there forever. So this too shall pass comes to mind when I think of this. Like, it's never as good as you think it is, and it's typically never as bad as you think it is either. It is the courage to continue that really counts. Now, he also said, if you're going through hell, keep going. Now, again, anyone building something remotely amazing in this world, that rings true. Whether you're an athlete, you're a business executive, you just got to keep on going. So those are three of his famous quotes that he used to inspire people to be resilient during an extremely dark time in history. And he understood less is more when it comes to communication, and people can remember and rally behind a short message. So if you want to dive in a little more on what your communication can look like, Winston Churchill is an absolutely wonderful resource. The next attribute is confidence. Now, this gentleman that I went to is Abraham Lincoln. And he, in order to lead a group, you have to have confidence in yourself, the vision and the values that you stand for. And one of the greatest examples of that was him. Over 150 years after his death, Lincoln is still talked about for his unwillingness to bend on the principles of equal rights, unification, and liberty. He once said, "You have confidence in yourself, which is valuable, if not an indispensable quality." He stood up for what he believed was the right thing to do, regardless of the consequences or repercussions. And ultimately, he paid the ultimate sacrifice, being assassinated, but he made the world a better place. Literally, he changed the world because he believed in it. He was confident. And no matter what he was faced with, he was going to see it through. And truly someone, again, over 150 years, we still talk about him as one of the greatest presidents of all time. And he had this confidence, and it's legendary. So we have communication, we have confidence, and the last one, this is the one I need to work on probably the most, and that's empathy. The simple definition of empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Being empathetic does not mean you're being weak, but rather allows you to help people that you're trying to reach. Having empathy as a leader shows that you have genuine interest in team members' lives and allows you to build a relationship with them. And I can't think of a better leader when it comes to having empathy than Mother Teresa. I've heard Mother Teresa, but I say Mother Teresa. I think she's the ultimate example of this. And she dedicated her life to helping those affected by poverty, disability, and disaster. In fact, she received the Nobel Prize in 1979 for her work to overcome poverty and suffering. And she once said, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. Let that sink in for a moment. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. That is pretty profound. And so much so the Catholic Church honored her as Saint Teresa of Calcutta in 2016. So when you're looking at your leadership, you guys, how's your communication? Can it be better? I know mine can. I'm always working on it. Just like today, I hope what I said comes through, and I hope that it resonates with you. Confidence, some people are blessed with a little more than others, but you can absolutely build that up. It's been said that when you are able to be true to yourself, whatever you said you're going to do, that helps build confidence. And then ultimately empathy. Look, I might be not the best person to talk on this because, again, I'm so solutions oriented. Often I'm not as empathetic, and it's of these three attributes, it's the one I'm working on by far the most because I want to be more empathetic. But again, every single day, leadership is not static. It's something that you continue to get better at as long as you continue to try. So take a look. How is your communication? How's your confidence and your empathy? And take a look at those three leaders. They certainly changed the world, made it a better place. And I think we all hope that 150 years, 100 years, or 10 years from now, people remember that we did things to help others, made the world truly a better place. So you guys, I hope you got a lot out of it today. As I said, I'm shortening these Tuesday tune-ups because I want it to be fast. I want you to get value from it. And I'm passionate about certainly this subject, leadership, because it truly, it defines organizations and families. And so much of what we do is based on our leadership. So continue to work on it. I hope you remember your mindset matters. And we'll talk to you next week. Have a great one. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.